Yes, yes. Welcome back. So Microsoft Azure SQL DB. So basically, remember, here we have one exam is there here in Microsoft Azure SQL DB. One is DP 300. Okay, DP 300 is there here. Now the previously it was 70765. Earlier it was here 70765. Now Microsoft has retired the 70 series. They have started with this BP series actually. Okay, so that's what remember here, now we have three DP 300. One series is there, DP 300 is there now, our Microsoft exam actually for Azure SQL database administrators. Okay, so that's why we'll see as part of our course, we'll see this complete curriculum of this exam we'll discuss, plus some extra concepts also we'll discuss. Okay, along with this DP 300, we'll see extra concepts also. Right. Check here, what are the major concepts that Microsoft is going to test actually in this DP 300. Deploying Azure SQL databases, 20% they are testing here, Azure SQL databases. Securing Azure SQL databases, we have 20% questions are there. Okay, securing. In the same way, monitoring and maintaining Azure SQL database performance. Performance here. Performance of what? Azure SQL database. 20% questions are there. Okay. In the same way, implementing HADR for Azure SQL, right? High availability and disaster recovery. So here also 20% questions are there. Migrating to Azure SQL means what? From on-premises here, like how we are migrating to Azure, okay, SQL. So we have 20% questions. Okay, see this Azure SQL here. One word we can see here, Azure SQL. Azure SQL has actually three topics actually in Azure SQL. Okay, we'll see that in detail again. Just I'm listing. One is Azure SQL database, where we are working with database level. Then Azure SQL managed instance, okay, where we are working with instance level. In the same way, we have Azure SQL VMs, actually virtual machines. Virtual machines. These are the three major services are there here, where we are working as a SQL Server DBA in Microsoft Azure. Clear, right? Three major services are there. We'll talk about this in detail. Azure SQL means what? It has three major services. Azure SQL database, where we are working at DB level, which is for small scale applications. Azure SQL managed instance is there. Same thing, we are working at instance level. So Azure SQL VMs. Yeah, same thing like how we are working in on-premises environment, okay, with log shipping, mirroring, always on replication, clustering. Same we can work in Microsoft Azure with the help of Azure SQL VMs. Actually, first two comes under PaaS services, platform as a service. This Azure SQL VM comes under IaaS service, infrastructure as a service. Okay, in the PaaS remember, platform as a service, we'll discuss now. So we have two options are there. In infrastructure as a service, we have one option there. Differences we'll discuss actually. various differences first. I will show you one more example also for each service. Later, we'll go in detail step by step. Okay. This is just remember currently we have our exam is Azure SQL. Okay, clear, right? Yeah. So yeah, that is Azure SQL is there. Okay, Azure SQL is there. So which is DP 300 exam is there right now here in Microsoft Azure for SQL DBAs. Okay, these are the exam I have said here. These are the yeah, concepts they are testing. Okay, that is the first point we have to understand. So what I will do, I will provide you official yeah, handbook. Okay, official course material I will provide you for DP 300. Okay, so that you can prepare, you can write the exam. But because recently have renewed my MCT, Microsoft Certified Trainer. For MCTs, remember, they will provide the official contents. Okay, they will provide the official content access. Means what? I can access the PPTs, I can access the handbooks, everything here of Microsoft courses. Yeah, recently I got this one, MCT, Microsoft Certified Trainer for 2021-22. Means for 1 year they will provide actually, will renew in general. Yearly we have to renew. Microsoft Certified Trainer for like last 3-4 days back. I have renewed my certificate. It is there until next September 4, 2022, 1 year. So as part of this, as a MCT sale, I have access to all the courses, Microsoft official curriculum. So I can download the PPTs from Microsoft. I can download the handbooks, lab materials, everything's here. Okay. So the same thing I will provide you as part of our course. Okay. Yes. DA, DP 300 is it? Administering relational databases on Microsoft Azure. Okay. So this is a official course is the DP 300 administering relational database on Microsoft Azure. I will share you this material. Means you can use for your personal usage, not for commercial. Okay. So yeah, what are the concepts are there? Five major modules are there. Those modules are covered here very in detail. The roles of Azure Database Administrator means almost all similar roles are there, like how we are working today in the organization as a SQL DBA. Okay, except that we are working in what Microsoft Azure platform actually. So we'll see here the roles of Azure SQL DBA will start with means we'll follow the same curriculum plus extra concepts we'll see. Okay, so plan and implement data platform resources. So here we'll see how we are deploying SQL Server in virtual machine, deploying a platform as a service solution, fast solution, deploying MariaDB. These are there actually, but we'll focus more on SQL actually, but these concepts also we'll see briefly according to our exam. Then implementing secure environment. Here we'll see working with the security options. security options, how we can secure a database, Azure SQL database, how we can secure. Different options are there. Monitoring and optimizing operational resources. Okay, how we are monitoring the performance issues, how we are capturing. So basically, remember here, in most of the, in PaaS environment, remember, most of the concepts, most of the things are automated here actually. Okay, like backups are automated. Okay, so automated tuning is also there. Means automatically rebuilding indexes, updating statistics. Okay, auto scaling. All those options are there here. See, in Azure. Then we'll see optimize query performance, automation of tasks. We'll see how we can automate. Actually, most of the things are automated, but we can also automate here by using different options here. Planning and implementing high availability and DR environment. So here for disaster recovery, we have different options are there like geo replication. Okay, so different options are available. In PaaS, we have different options. In IaaS here, infrastructure as a service, where we are working with SQL VMs. SQL VMs. So there we can implement all our features like route shipping, mirroring, always on everything. These are like major modules are there as part of this course, but along with this, we'll see some extra concepts also in our course. Okay, right. Right. I will share you this material, which is very useful for us to prepare for the exam. As well as I will share you the tests also, means like 3 to 4 tests also I will share you so that you can practice those tests, okay, before attending for the exam. So at the last, you can take the help also if you want to attend the exam. Okay. So yeah, currently we have online option is available. You can write the exam from anywhere online. Right. So not only remember as part of our course, not only we are focusing on our exam. So we'll focus some other concepts also like IAS basics, those are. Right. So check it like generally remember like while connecting to database, we have options are there, right? Azure Active Directory, Azure Active Directory password integrated will work with these also here as part of the security will work with all these things. Okay, right. So let's say we'll start with step by step. We'll go with just we'll see as part of today's session, we'll see what is cloud computing, we'll see. Okay. So just I'm going from scratch. Maybe if you are already familiar with cloud computing, no need to worry. Okay. So I will go from scratch. So step by step, we'll go. Okay. I will show you how to create an account in Microsoft Azure, how we can start practicing. Basically, remember, we can create an account, we can practice for 1 month. Okay, whenever we create an account in Microsoft Azure, it is valid for 1 month. You can practice. There are no charges out there. Okay, yes. Okay, yeah. Generally, say like cloud computing, various definitions are there here for cloud computing. Basically, we know that we have two types of computing environments are there. One is on-premises environment is there. On-premises means what? Where we can build the local data center, where we are building our own local data center, which is our on-premises environment. Okay, nothing but local data center. Means what? Let's say my client is in Australia. So I will build the local data center at client location, for example. Then Means what we'll procure the hardware, we'll purchase. Okay, we'll purchase the softwares, right? We'll purchase the operating systems, or DBMS products, SQL Server, everything, networks, antivirus, firewalls, everything. Then we'll build the local data center. We'll deploy the application, we'll test it, then we'll make it available to the users. But remember, building local data center or on-premises setup, yeah, it takes a lot of time actually, maybe 2 to 3 months time is required, right? In the same way, capital expenditure will be very huge, right? Everything we have to purchase, servers, everything. Capital expenditure is what? Very huge. The same way, operational expenditure also will increase. Why? Because power, for air conditioning, for physical security. Okay, operational expenditure also will increase. That's why with on-premises, which is a local data center, capital expenditure is high. Means we have to purchase servers, everything. Let's say we have to invest 40, 50 lakhs, we have to invest, for example. Operational expenditure is there, like monthly expenditure is there. Security problems are there, if you are maintaining the local data center. Okay, the same way, performance issues are there. Means regularly we have to upgrade the hardware to avoid what? Performance issues. Time taking process, right? So that's why my client is saying our application should be ready within 1 month. Okay, so if you are going with on-premises environment, it becomes lengthy process. It takes time, 2 to 3 months time, that we can overcome with the help of what? Cloud computing platforms today, right? So that's remember yeah. Now with cloud computing, Microsoft has built the data centers across the globe, right? Already data centers are there across the globe. Just place the database or place your applications, start working with the database here. Very simple. It has become very simple now. So if the database is ready or SQL database is ready, we can migrate the database in 1 2 days, for example. Then we can make it available to the applications very fastly. That's why just remember, like cloud computing is delivering of computing resources, including hardware, software, everything through internet. And with cloud computing, remember, we can overcome all these limitations of on-premises environment. Okay, so no need to spend a huge money. Capital expenditure is not there. Just create a account in Microsoft Azure, then start working with that account. Means start working with which database you want, which server you want, which operating system you want. We can start working with here. No need to invest the money. Why? Because already Microsoft has invested huge money to build the data centers across the globe. Okay, directly we are using Microsoft infrastructure. Okay, that's remember yeah, today remember like most of the clients are preferring their cloud computing platforms today. Right. So check here, cloud computing is delivery of computing services over the internet. Cloud computing provides here servers, storage, databases, everything is here what we use. Okay. Yes. Companies offering these services are called cloud providers. Typically, charges are there based on usage only, right? Based on usage only, charges are there. Okay, no need to pay any fixed amount. Means like for example, if you are running one SQL machine with Windows 2016, SQL 2019, for example, with the 8 GB RAM, for example, its cost is approximately 18 rupees per hour. per hour. Means what? Like that's why how many hours you are running the machine? Only for those number of hours only we are going to pay. No need to pay fixed amount. Okay. Yes. That is it. Depends on usage only we are going to pay. No need to pay fixed amount in cloud computing platforms. Right. Even like initial investment is also not there, right? Yes. Check out benefits of cloud computing. Uh, Hardware. No need to purchase the hardware. Hardware is readily available. No need to waste that time. Okay. The same way, like global presence here. Data centers are there here across the globe. Anywhere we can place our resources here, servers, databases. Wherever you want, we can place our servers here. Global presence. Like here, currently, if you see like Azure Global Infrastructure, okay. So we have like global infrastructure or global network. Check here very clearly. Microsoft is displaying very clearly here, graphically, how they have, yeah, uh, yeah, developed the infrastructure, how they have created the infrastructure here globally. Here, see, like regions are there actually. Regions means like in globally, remember, in most of the places, regions are there. In India, we have three regions are there actually. One is Chennai, Pune, Mumbai. Three regions are there. Okay. So, yeah, every region is a collection of data center. In every region, remember, we have minimum three data centers, which we are calling them as availability zones. Okay. And the region, we have what? Availability zones are there. Three data centers are there in every region. Okay. Yes. Why? Because if one data center collapse, no problem. So we have the databases, servers, everything in another data center. So there will be no issue. Okay. Check here like very clearly. Yeah, we have laid say like 1,175,000 cables actually, operational cables actually. It's the introduction Microsoft issuing. Check it. Like we have, yeah, see very clearly they have laid the infrastructure here. Okay, they have deployed say like with cables here through the sea. Okay, so we can check here. See, we can rotate the globe. We can see where are the region. These are say regions actually. See, very huge investment it is. GBPS network cables they have laid. Even like something happened like network cable, we have satellites are there to yeah, start communication. Okay, so check here in case of India. If you see here, we have three regions are there. This is here West India, nothing but Mumbai region actually. Mumbai region. So, which was opened here in 2015. Actually, remember Microsoft Azure has come in the market in 2012. First time they have completely yeah, expanded in 2012 actually. Here see like yeah, all these are complaints are there. Here we can even like finance related applications also we can post here. So we have availability zones are there here. In the same way, this is our Pune regions here. Yeah, which was opened here. In the same way, Chennai region. Three regions are there. Okay, so like they say, like very clearly, Microsoft is showing here, like how many regions are there and how the connectivity is there here across the globe. Except in Africa, in South Africa, they have built the region actually recently, 2019 here. So except South Africa, almost also everywhere we have see regions are there. Region is a collection of a data center. This is your US. Okay, so we'll see the architecture elements. We'll see we have regions are there, availability zones are there, the edge locations are there, a point of presence, something say different yeah, architecture elements are there. We'll discuss. Just we have to understand here, Microsoft has built the data centers globally. So in those data centers, remember, we are placing our resources. Clear, right? What is Microsoft Azure? We have to just understand. Just it is a global collection of our data centers. Okay, right. See, whenever we create an account, we can place our databases, we can place our servers anywhere here. No need to take any approvals. We can place anywhere. Okay, right, right. So that is a like global presence here. Everywhere, like regions are there, data centers are there. We can place actually on-demand services, right? So anything we can create by our own. Means what? Uh, Tomorrow you want to create one database, one server on demand. Say no need to take any approvals from Microsoft. Directly we can create, we can start working. Okay, directly we can create and start working with on demand. In the same way, scalability benefits are there. At any time, we can increase the resources here. Scalability. Yes, sorry. So I understood, right? Scalability means what? Like today I'm using one server with 32 GB RAM. Okay, tomorrow we can increase up to 128 GB RAM. Again, we can drop it back to 32 GB RAM if you want. Okay, so scalability is one of the major benefit of cloud computing, which we can't see in our on-premises environment. Okay, yes. Broad network access. Here from anywhere we can access the resources which are there in cloud data centers. Yeah, pay as you go option is there. Initially, we have seen whenever you create a free account. So by default, remember, like you can practice for 1 month. Microsoft will add 200 credits actually. Okay, 200 credits they will add dollars actually. Till they are there or till 1 month we can practice. After that, if want, we can continue by converting into pay as you go. Means what? Depends on usage, we can pay the amounts here. Okay, pay as you go option is there. Otherwise, you can cancel your subscription. Okay, no charges are there. Until we are not converting into any paid subscription, Microsoft is not going to charge anything from us. Okay, after 1 month, automatically account is disabled. So if want, we can continue or you can cancel the subscription. Hybrid compatibility. Even like we have on-premises one local data center is there. Here we have some storage or servers. Okay, so in on-premises data center, for example, so these storage, these servers we can use here with the cloud data center. Means what? Here in the cloud data center, so we can configure here always on. Our primary replica may be there here in on-premises. Secondary replica may be there here, see, in cloud, actually cloud data center. Okay, so as well as remember, like whatever the storage is there in on-premises, still we can use this storage into one of our server, which is there in Microsoft Cloud, for example. This is considered hybrid compatibility. Okay. So combining the resources of what local data center, on-premises data center, and the cloud data center. Understood, right? If any questions are there, please type in the chat panel. Chat option is there. If any simple doubts are there, okay. Yeah, please type here. I will try to answer. Okay, no need to worry. Yes, this actually like high performance. Today we have very high performance already. Why? Because Microsoft is saying they have laid the GBPS network is there. Plus, they are using the different options for storage. Even they are using today SSDs. Standard SSDs are there, as well as premium SSDs are also there. Solid state drives. We know that already. SSD provides very high performance with high IO input output, right? Yes, yes. These also like various benefits are there. How we are, yeah, what are the various benefits are there here with cloud computing platform? Okay, various benefits which are important for us. Okay, so let's say like this is one of the official definition of cloud computing. Check it like cloud computing is a model for enabling on-demand network access, right? Yeah, from anywhere we can access to a shared pool of configurable computing resources. Means what tomorrow you want one SQL machine, for example, in cloud. Yeah, already pre-configured images are there. Just we have to put some name, okay? Yeah, username, password, what size of machine you want, we can start using here. Okay, so yeah, that can be rapidly provisioned and released with minimal management here. Provisioning means remember creating. Very fastly we can create the resources and with minimum management. See, maintenance also very less here in cloud computing platforms. Second part of the definition said this cloud model is composed of say, 5 essential characteristics, 3 service models, and 4 deployment models. Yeah, we'll talk about this again in the tomorrow's class, but we'll see something practically. Okay. Check here like we have 3 service models are there important for us. Infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. In the same way, like 4 deployment models are there today: public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, and community cloud. 4 deployment models are there. But remember, 80% we are working with public cloud. Public cloud means what? We are placing our resources in the Microsoft data center, where most of the other people also can place their resources. Public clouds. 5 essential characteristics are there. We'll talk about in detail, just very fastly here. On-demand self-service, we have seen, we can create our resources by our own. Broad network access, from anywhere we can access the resources, servers, databases. Rapid elasticity, we have seen scale up, scale down, we can implement at any time. Okay, measured services means what depends on usage only we are going to pay. No need to pay any fixed amount. Measured services. And resource pooling, right? All the resources are there in the pool. Means like all the resources are there in the form of pool. Just we can configure, we can start using. Okay, these things we'll talk about again in detail in tomorrow's class again. In detail, we'll see this in the tomorrow's class. Just we'll see how we are working with Microsoft Azure as a Azure SQL DBA. Azure SQL DBA. Actually, we have here see we have seen 3 options are there regularly where we have to work as a Azure SQL DBA. We have to work with Azure SQL VM, virtual machine. This is similar to like how we are working in on-premises, except that our servers are there in Azure data center. Okay, so here see in Azure SQL VM, we can create our own dedicated server virtual machine. We can install SQL Server. We can work with SQL servers. Here, this is for large scale application. Here we can implement their clustering, log shifting, mirroring, whatever the concepts we want, we can implement here in Azure SQL VMs. It comes under IaaS service, infrastructure as a service. Whereas Azure SQL managed instance is there, we have seen, which is a instance level service. So where we can maintain multiple databases in a instance. Azure SQL database is there. This is DB level service where we can have access to only our database only, not instance. Basically, it is a shared instance. In one instance, my databases are there, other client databases are there, other client databases are there. Like they say, like it is a database level service, which is basically for startup applications. Here, see, most of the 80% tasks are automated here in Azure SQL database. And basically, its cost is also very less. And the database can grow up to 1 TB or up to 4 TB we can maintain here. But if it is more than 4 TB, we have to go with the virtual machine. Just remember, this is our DB level service where we can work only with our database. We can't work with instance level features. So this is our instance where we can work with instance along with multiple DBs. So here our own virtual machine, our own dedicated server where we can have multiple instances also, multiple DBs also. Clear, right? These are the three options are there here for SQL DBAs actually. So where we are working in Microsoft Azure. Okay. Yes. If any questions are there, feel free to type in the chat panel if any simple doubts are there. Okay. So I will try to answer. Just once again, I will connect to the console very fastly. So we'll see how we can start working with. We have portal is there, Azure portal is there. We can connect to the portal. We can start working with the portal. At portal.azure.com, I will show you how to create the accounts also in Microsoft Azure, how we can create our own account. Okay, Monica, no problem. I will share you the recordings. Anyhow, I am recording the class. Okay, just go through the recording. So I will provide my WhatsApp number also later. Okay, so that if any doubts are there while practicing, you can ping me on my WhatsApp actually. And I already have said I will share you the curriculum, official curriculum also. I will share you so that you can go through that curriculum. Yeah, material. Okay, right. 1 second. Yeah, one question is that can we configure like clustering always on Azure SQL VM? Yes, we can do everything in Azure SQL VM. Okay. Yes, SQL VM we can do everything, but in other two options are there we have seen, right? Like Azure SQL database and other options are there. Here we can't do all those activities. In VMs we can create We can work with all the features what we are working right now. Check here, actually here we have two URLs we have to understand. One is like azure.microsoft.com. See here, here we can create a free account. We can start practicing here by creating what? Free account. Azure.microsoft.com, we can create a free account. We can automatically say Microsoft will add $200 actually. Till they are there, we can work with, or till 30 days, we can practice. After that, say, then we can go to second URL, say portal.azure.com. Portal.azure.com. Here, by using the portal, we can start working. Okay, so yes, already have login here. See in my portal, Azure portal, Microsoft Azure portal. So here we can see all the services we can see here. Here see SQL databases, one service is there, which is to work with individual databases. Virtual machine, one option is there. Here we can create our own virtual server. Okay, but if you search here in Azure SQL, see here, Azure SQL, check here how many options are there in Azure SQL. If I say create, very clearly it is showing here. In Azure SQL, these are the three options are there. Just now we have seen in the PPT. Azure SQL machines, virtual machines, managed instance, and Azure SQL database here. Azure SQL database, which is a database level service where we can create a single database we can start working with, basically for startup applications. Azure SQL managed instance is there where we can create a single instance. Means what? We have instance level permissions access. In that instance, we can maintain our databases, but machine level access is not there. Means we can't take RDP of the server. Okay. Only instance level access is there through SSMS. We can connect to the instance. We can start working with. Here, see virtual machine option is there. Here, machine level access is there. Completely our own dedicated server. This is where we can take RDP of the server. We can start working. Okay, so we'll see very fastly how we can create a database here, single database. So just we have to provide the resource group name. We'll see in detail later tomorrow. Yeah, we can put say database name. See, Microsoft has already installed SQL Server. Directly we are creating the database here. We can mention, sir, we can create a logical server name actually, means endpoint name actually. We are not installing SQL Server, just we are creating a endpoint. After creating a, just through this endpoint, we can access this database here. This is our endpoint, opt33.database.windows.net. Okay, so login name, password. See, where do you want to deploy this database? Already we have seen anywhere globally we can place our databases here. Like slightly charges will be different. Okay. Some other options are there here. Like here we have compute plus storage options are there actually. We'll see different options are there. DTU based models are there. So DTUs are there here, database transactions units per second. Here up to 2 GB database, its cost is $5 per month here. Up to 2 GB, 5 transactions per second. Like this, like very less cost here. Means what? We are not purchasing hardware, we are not purchasing Windows, we are not purchasing SQL license. See, everything's here within $5 we are paying monthly up to 2 GB database size. Up to 2 GB database size. Then just we are paying what? $5. Okay. So like this, like cost is very less for our clients here. If you are going with what? SQL database directly in Microsoft Azure. Right? No need to purchase servers, no need to maintain separate data center with your conditioning. Check your database will be ready, empty database will be ready within 2 to 3 minutes time. Then we can access this database from anywhere. Just we have to configure the firewall from where you want to access. In that firewall rule we have to define. Then we can open SSMS. We can connect through this SSMS. Even you can connect from your laptop also. Like just now we have created OPT33. Okay. Dot database dot windows dot net login name password. We can connect from the through SSMS. We can start working with here. See how simply we can create a database here, SQL database here in Microsoft Azure. Okay. Yes. These are the three options are there. We'll see in detail again what is IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS in detail. We'll discuss. Okay. So then we'll see. Yeah. Again, we'll discuss what are the major differences are there between these three Azure SQL options. Okay. Major differences we'll see. After that, we'll start with one by one. I will show you tomorrow again. All the three examples I will show you once again. Okay. So just for demo purpose, later we'll start with step by step. Okay. Right. Let's say what we'll do. We'll conclude the session today now. We'll continue again tomorrow. Just today we have seen what is cloud computing, what are the benefits we have seen. Second point we have to understand as a SQL DBA, what are the options are there in Microsoft Azure. Second point, three options we have seen. Azure SQL database, Azure SQL managed instance, Azure SQL VMs. Last point, remember, like if want to write the exam, we can write the exam DP300. We have seen data platform 300 for administering relational databases on Microsoft Azure. Okay, so then we have seen like to create a free account, we can go to azure.microsoft.com. Once free account is created, then we can go to portal.azure.com to start working with the services. Okay. Yes. These are the points we have seen here as part of today's class. Main points we have seen. The deployment is ready, it is saying. We can go to resource. Just by configuring firewall, add client IP means my IP it is showing here. After adding the client IP, now I can connect to this database here. Okay, password. Check here. From my machine, I can connect here, connected successfully. But here it is a database level service, right? We don't have other options like databases. We don't have agent, replication, all those options. Why? Because it is a DB level service, Azure SQL database. And said currently version is there V12 actually, 12.0 version in Azure SQL DB. Okay, we'll talk about this again step by step in detail. Just to have shown you how to create a database very fastly. So due to lack of time, how many CPUs in one DTU? No, one DTU is like one thread actually. Means like one DTU process one request per second. Okay, we'll talk about those things in detail in the tomorrow's class.